Hi guys. So I'm gonna try to create one long video here, but I'm gonna have to cut them up into 1 minute segments so that I can send them to you non-iPhone users. And then on top of that, I don't know if you guys are even gonna see it because sometimes in a group chat with an iPhone and non-iPhone, this video is going to be shrunk down horribly, but I guess you don't need to see my pretty face anyway. Okay, so here we go. We started by riding out there. We decided that we were going to eat because we didn't know how long we were going to be there for. And if we got chased away, we wanted to go ahead and eat. So by the time we got there, I think it was like around 1 o'clock or something like that. And then from that point, we decided, we were there for quite a while, but we did decide that we're like, we got to get out there because if we don't hurry up, people are going to be gone. Hold on. That was 1 minute. So people are going to leave because the event really only goes from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So we knew that we had to like time this just right to catch the people that were actually going to be there. Well, it turned out that her event did go until 3 o'clock and she left around 3:30, but she never even came over and talked to us. She kind of just dipped out to the side. I did see her once or twice at the main entrance. She still has red hair on top of her head towards the front. That's why she was very recognizable. I also think that one of her other siblings were there. So I think, if I remember hearing correctly, she has a sister or something like that that does bakery stuff. If that's the case, I think she was there too. I saw her based on maybe what I saw on an Instagram post somewhere or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. So anyway. Okay, 2 minutes. So basically with that, there was a guy that kept like coming in and out. I think he was friends with one of them or something because there was a bunch of cookingware coming out and he was handed some cookingware. So he saw me and Nick standing out there for a very long time. Never really saying much. Well, apparently he works there, but he was drinking quite a bit. So I'm guessing he was off the clock. And then he later on tells me that he was feeling uncomfortable because my son and I were standing outside this bar, which whatever, and just watching the game from the outside looking in. And he was like, well, now that I know why you're here, you guys make me feel very uncomfortable because you guys are standing out front of a bar and it doesn't have a good appearance. And I said, well, first of all, you work here? If you do, then why are you outside of the drinking area? You're not supposed to be having alcoholic beverages out on the sidewalk, so you should probably keep that inside. He was like, hey, we're not talking about that right now, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right, dude, I'm just saying, like, you make me feel uncomfortable because now you're drunk in public. So I'm just saying, like, if it's a problem that my son and I are just standing here peacefully watching the game, by that time it was almost 4 o'clock, right? We had been out there since 1:30. So at one point we decided that we were going to walk around and hand out flyers in the parking lot because we knew a lot of those people, those patrons, were coming in and out of the parking lot area. So like around 1:30ish or something like that. I think I sent you guys a video. Basically went up to the parking lot. I think we handed out about 10 of them on the cars, just random cars. We don't know if they're part of that event or not or what, but we just said, might as well do it. What the heck, right? So we handed them out. We then walked back over to in front of the restaurant because we didn't, or the marina thing, whatever it is. We'll say the restaurant. So we didn't want to just stand there and look too whatever. So eventually, later down the road, one of the patriots happened to go get his Jeep and drive his Jeep in front of the establishment. Had no idea that this flyer was sitting on his Jeep, and I'm like, oh, sweet. I remember that one. That one was parked in a handicap zone, parked in backwards, and he was like, yeah, that's right. So we're sitting out there, and the Jeep shows up. Now, he's got like 6 of his buddies. They're all out there smoking cigars and stogies and all kinds of stuff out in front of the restaurant, but on the patio so they can smoke, but yet still watch the game and stuff. So basically, one of his buddies was like, "Hey, what's that on your car?" He goes, "Oh, I didn't even notice it." So he goes back and checks it out, and he's reading, and he goes, "Oh, damn, somebody got burned. Like, look at this. That's shady. Oh my God, I can't believe that. Oh man, somebody's in the neighborhood got burned, right?" And then I'm thinking to myself, like, "Oh my God, perfect. He's understanding exactly what we're saying. He's getting it." And one of the guys in his group goes, "Wait a minute, the caterer? Is that the same caterer that was here today?" And he goes, "I don't think so." And I'm literally just across the way, sitting at the tree, and I'm like, mm-hmm. I didn't say nothing. I'm just nodding my head like I'm eavesdropping, like, mm-hmm. They didn't catch on to it right away. About 30 seconds later, they had mentioned it again. And he was like, "No, dude, I think this was the lady that was here today." And I start nodding, right? And I'm like, mm-hmm. And so one of the guys was like nudging him, and he's like, "Hey, over there." And I was like, interesting. Just like that, just so I could open up that dialogue of whatever. And so that was kind of it. It mellowed out. Then we got to one of the quarters, right? Because they were all focused on the football game and stuff. So we get to the end of one of the quarters, and the guy was like, "Hey, why don't you guys come inside?" And I said, "Perfect, right?" I can't support this business right now, unfortunately, because they support a person that stole $5,500 for my daughter on her wedding day and never returned the money. And they're like, "What? Wait a minute. Is this flyer you?" And I'm like, and I'm holding it. I'm like, "Yep." Mm-hmm. And he goes, "Oh, that's shady," or something along those lines. And I was like, "Yeah, that's why I'm here to do awareness, because apparently we've reached out to this establishment to let them know that there's a person that they're doing business with that is not being legit and not being honest and doing good business." And so I'm here today to spread the word of this particular caterer. And they're like, "Oh man, that's fucked up." So I started telling the story, and then another guy's like, "Hey, give me a flyer too." And by that time, I had probably handed out, now I'm sitting in front of the establishment, I probably handed out about 10 flyers to different people. Oh man, cool, thank you. That town is a very small town. A lot of people know each other. And I met two powerful people there. One of them owns one of the biggest tap houses on the main strip. And another guy is just a well-known guy in the area. I didn't catch his name. I'm really bad with names. And to be honest, I didn't think to even remember, because I thought my phone was in my pocket recording everything for audio purposes so I could give you guys feedback. And my dumb ass forgot to hit record before putting it in my pocket. So one of those guys, a really cool guy, he goes, "I'll be right back." So goes inside, knows the owner of this establishment that she was at today, the restaurant. So she comes out, she goes, "Hey, I was informed, blah, blah, blah." She goes, "As the owner of this establishment, I know what you guys are here for, and I'm asking you guys to leave." And I'm like, "You can ask us to leave, but this is the sidewalk and this is public property, and I'm not disrupting your patrons." "Well, no, you're handing out flyers." No. I'm not handing out flyers. They're asking me what's in my hand, and I'm like, "Oh, these flyers? Yeah." And then they ask for it, and then I give it to them. I don't hand them out. I'm not here to disrupt your business or anything of that nature. It has nothing to do with that. And the guys are like, "Oh, no. We asked. Trust me. We asked, what's he doing? We asked him to come in, and he was like, whatever." And so we're like, "Oh, yeah." So anyway, so that all goes through. So she was now listening with a different set of ears, because these people are other peers in that community, right? So they're all owners and whatever. So by this time now, her manager, Aaron, shows up, or Aaron. I don't know how to say that. But anyway, double A, Aaron, shows up, and he's kind of just watching back from a distance, and he's kind of observing. She now finally kind of let up with, "I gotta go," to like, "Okay, let me hear you out a little bit." So I kind of just explained the story to her. And she was like, okay. And then one of her friends was like, hey, or maybe a customer's like, hey, I forgot my card. I need my card. So she got excused away, and then she never came back. So then from that point on, now I'm dealing with the manager, the new general manager. And basically he had,